After months of delays and diplomatic tension, the Turkish parliament has voted to approve Sweden's bid to join NATO. Hungary is expected to follow suit, leading to unanimous support for Swedish accession to the bloc. Kurdish politician Selahattin Demirtas, jailed in Turkey, was permitted a brief transfer to Kurdish-majority Diyarbakir on Tuesday to visit his mother in intensive care. Syrian Kurdish journalist Suleiman Ahmed has been held incommunicado in Iraqi Kurdistan for over 3 months after being detained by regional security forces and accused of engaging in intelligence activities for the PKK. A German constitutional court decision to cut state funding to a party without banning it may be a model to deal with the growing influence of extreme right-wing parties in the country. Learn more with Media News. Turkey's parliament has voted in favour of Sweden's accession to NATO, marking a significant step forward in the Nordic country's long journey to join the Western military alliance. The decision comes after months of delays and diplomatic tension that raised concern among Sweden's allies. The Turkish parliament held a debate during a General Assembly session on Tuesday, culminating in a vote that secured approval for Sweden's NATO membership. The process had been marred by delays, straining relations between Ankara and its Western allies. Turkish President Erdogan had originally pledged to support Sweden joining NATO in July, but complications arose and the process dragged on. Only Turkey and Hungary had initially withheld support for Sweden's bid to join the alliance. However, Turkey's official approval now paves the way for Sweden to join, as Hungary is expected to follow suit. President Erdogan still has to sign the ratification protocol after parliamentary approval. The long delays in the process have been attributed to Erdogan's concerns about Sweden's alleged friendliness towards Kurdish activists. Erdogan also linked approving Sweden to join NATO to the pending sale of F-16s from the United States to Turkey. The Turkish president has indicated that he expects the US to agree to Turkey's request for the multi-billion-dollar arms deal. Jailed Kurdish politician Selahattin Demirtas was flown to Turkey's Kurdish-majority southeastern province of Diyarbakir on Tuesday to visit his mother, who was recently hospitalised in intensive care. Demirtas, former co-chair of the obsolete pro-Kurdish People's Democratic Party, has been held behind bars in the northwestern province of Edirne since 2016, despite a European Court of Human Rights ruling previously confirming that Demirtas' imprisonment was politically motivated and ordering his immediate release. The pro-Kurdish People's Equality and Democracy Party confirmed in a statement that the politician, after learning of his mother's illness, had requested permission from the prison administration to visit her. The request was accepted and he was transferred to Diyarbakir under heavy security. After a 5-hour visit with his mother, Demirtas was immediately taken to the airport for transfer back to prison. Suleiman Ahmed, a Syrian Kurdish journalist, has been held incommunicado in Duhok, Iraqi Kurdistan, for over 3 months. Ahmed was detained at the border crossing between the Kurdistan region of Iraq and northeast Syria on the 25th of October by security forces attached to the Kurdistan Democratic Party. Upon learning that Ahmed had been taken to Duhok, his lawyers approached the Asayish, or internal security forces, in the city. Although the lawyers were given an unofficial acknowledgement that the journalist was in custody, they were still denied access. On further investigation, the lawyers discovered that Ahmed was being held in one of the unofficial detention centres operated by the ruling party's intelligence agency. In the only information they were provided in relation to the journalist's detention, the Asayish are reported to have accused Ahmed of being a PKK operative engaging in intelligence activities. Ahmed's supporters are calling for transparency, proper legal representation and a fair trial in his case, which is adding to the growing concern surrounding press freedom in the region. Germany's Constitutional Court declared on Tuesday that the far-right extremist party, Die Heimat, formerly known as the National Democratic Party, will be stripped of the state funding and tax benefits granted to political parties in the country. The court justified its decision by asserting that Die Heimat displays disdain for the free democratic basic order and advocates for an authoritarian state rooted in Nazi-era ideologies. The verdict follows widespread protests across Germany over the weekend, as more than 1 million citizens rallied across the country, gathering, among other places, outside the national parliament to voice opposition to far-right extremism and the increasing influence of the anti-immigrant party Alternative for Germany. The protests gained momentum after reports that 2 senior members of the Alternative for Germany party attended a meeting of right-wing extremists where plans to deport millions of immigrants, refugees and German citizens were discussed. The controversial remigration plan, reminiscent of Nazi policies from the 1930s, would reportedly be implemented if the Alternative for Germany party took power. The party has seen a surge in support, reaching around 22% in opinion polls, well ahead of Chancellor Olaf Scholz's centre-left Social Democrats.